In a world that will never be the same, aliens arrive and turn everything into a battlefield. In the end, all that counts is how strong you are. If you're weak, you're seen as useless, a drain on others, and a total laughingstock. Just like everyone else, the MC must wake up his special power to begin his adventure. But when it turns out his power is just a weak 1-star level, the reaction from everyone else is brutally harsh. Suddenly, the crowd bursts into laughter, mocking him and calling him a disgrace, but they have absolutely no idea what is about to happen. His true power awakens later, revealing abilities far beyond anyone's expectations that are nothing short of terrifying. Even though the system calls them dark forbidden spells, just hearing their names sends chills racing down his spine. While others call them a curse, he sees a chance to rule over everyone from that moment on. At Superpower Academy, 18-year-old Ningfang is completely lost in a fierce fight happening inside his mobile game. Then a stinging slap snaps him right back to the present. The culprit is Wang Yui, the Academy's untouchable goddess who is beautiful, rich, talented, and furious because she's right. The awakening exam is about to start, but instead of getting ready, our boy is busy gaming like his future depends on it, and honestly, he doesn't care at all. He already knows he's destined to wake up with a weak, low-level talent, the complete opposite of Yue, who became a top-tier 5-star adventurer at just 16, so he plans to just ride on her coattails and glide through life without any trouble. But Yue is too sharp for his trick, so she grabs him tight and squeezes the life out of him. The crowd whispers about the strange sight, wondering how a once-in-a-generation genius like Yue could be standing there with the school's resident disappointment. But their strange friendship makes perfect sense because they have known each other since they were kids, so now let's explore their world, Blue Star. It's a world where games and reality have blended together, and once you turn 16, you get to unlock a special power and become an adventurer. And if you don't make it, then you'll just have to deal with the bad luck. The MC knows this better than anyone because it's his 3rd time taking the exam. While everyone else talks excitedly about their dream jobs, he just stands there waiting for this whole mess to end. As his moment at last arrives, hushed whispers ripple through the crowd. Chiri gives him a nod of encouragement, and he steps forward to rest his hand on the waking crystal. A few 10 seconds tick by until a blue light glows, showing he has awakened as a magic user, only to reveal a disappointing 1-star adventurer with a pretty useless skill. Teacher Chi felt sorry for him, but the other students didn't hesitate to make fun of him. Even though everything seemed wrong, our boy wasn't sad. Instead, he was bewildered because the second he woke up, a system message popped up and gave him 2 new powers. First, he gains the power to use dark energy without any backlash, plus a forbidden spell he can cast once a week, and even his weak technique transforms into something truly terrifying, leaving him confused as to why the system treats him like the final boss of a horror game while he just prays it won't kill him during the practical test. The test is simple: step into the arena and fight monsters to learn your skills. No fighting is allowed since drones watch over everything as the others rush forward to show what they can do. Our hero crouches low in the bushes, knowing that while he could fight, his only weapon is a bit of tricky, forbidden magic. And a gut feeling warns him that getting caught means trouble is coming. Back in the control room, Captain Joe notices the man doing nothing and wonders why he is even there. Chiri steps in to defend him, explaining how he woke up late, is feeling very sick, and has been really unlucky. Joe doesn't believe them and thinks a 1-star adventurer is useless, so he wants to kick the MC out, but before he can do it, the MC's drone goes offline and a huge power surge hits the arena, making Chu think a strong monster has appeared, and he immediately orders a check. Back in the forest, everything changes. A lone boy is trapped by a swarm of goblins, and their leader shouts that they must kill everyone. He even blasts the last few drones out of the sky just to be safe. Our hidden hero sees the drones are gone and knows he can finally try his secret spell. And well, the results are so dramatic that you can feel them shaking the room. The second he casts the spell, the monitoring room plunges into darkness, alarms shriek, the bosses scream, and Joe, convinced a powerful dark force has arrived, yells for extra help and an emergency exit. While his opponent acts, our hero stands back and watches his spell come to life. A dark energy surges forward, becoming a terrifying force that crushes everything in its way. The goblins are wiped out, and their leader stares at the MC in pure horror before meeting the same end. After that, the system rewards the MC experience points, leaving our hero staring at his status window in total shock. His level jumped to 10 for the first time ever, probably thanks to that elite monster, but now he's wondering why such a dangerous beast was even hiding in this secret place before he excitedly checks out the amazing loot he just found. The rare, glowing orange pioneer emblem and hook claw he found are so valuable that selling one could make him rich, but just as he starts dreaming of easy money, an announcement calls all the candidates back. Suddenly, a cruel shadow wraps around him, and traps spring up everywhere to hold him still. Without a second's delay, he unrolls a magic scroll to teleport away before anyone can ask what exactly happened. As soon as the group gathers, Captain Joe yells for everyone to head back to the city, and honestly, that makes total sense. Even if they fought side by side, they still wouldn't have a chance against whatever is hiding in that place. While they wait for help, the dark energy vanishes into thin air, and to make it even worse, the monsters are suddenly stuck inside the secret arena and can't get out. Chiwei sees that this is way too big for them, so they decide to tell the boss right away. Our boy tries to ask a question, but she rushes him away. While traveling, the MC finally gets answers from Wang Yui, who reveals that the academy shut down because of the mysterious dark power. Our hero tried to figure out if that strange power came from the elite monster or if something else was causing it. He mistakes Yu's quiet concentration for sadness and comforts him by saying that since his protective spells aren't strong enough for fighting alone, he will join her team starting tomorrow. Our boy likes the offer but politely says no, not because he doesn't want to, since teaming up would sound great. The real problem is that he can't use his only trick, a dark and forbidden spell. But no matter who he is, Yue has no choice but to follow through. She casually hands him the time and place, then strolls away as if the talk is done. Even after he shouts for her, she's already vanished. Now he's trapped, scrambling for a lie to sneak out of his training. The real challenge isn't fighting that elite monster, but rather dodging the unpredictable Yue, which is far tougher to handle. He comes up with a plan, but he doesn't know if it will work or blow up in his face. The MC walks into the trading center with a simple plan to buy a skill, show it off to Yue, and pray the system doesn't turn it into a world-ending spell, but as he looks around, a woman stops him to recommend high-level gear that will help him level up fast. But our boy isn't looking for a long-term fix, he just wants a quick solution. The instant she sees he isn't going to toss around crystal coins like a wealthy kid, she practically shoves him aside and yells for a newcomer to take over. Next up is Yang Xin, the fresh-faced guide. She leads our hero to the equipment area where he grabs a few things, some of which seem huge enough to swallow him whole. After looking around for a while, he finally picks a ring, and then Xin takes him to Master Wang, the guy who knows all the tricks. The MC passes the claw to Wang for a quick check, and just moments later, Wang shouts that the deal is closed. After paying the fees, our hero pockets about 50,000 crystal coins. After quickly reviewing the papers, our hero decides to grab a few more things while he's here. Meanwhile, the woman who turned her nose up at him earlier is now loudly chatting with her co-workers about how she wants a rich, powerful, and handsome man. But then she catches the MC talking to Wang, and a shocking truth hits her, that nobody just made more in a single trade than her entire month's earnings. The look of regret on her face is real and she truly deserves it. The next morning, our hero put his new skills to the test after last night's successful run, proving they were safe and wouldn't lead to a dark disaster. This means he can use them without worrying about accidentally starting the end of the world. Feeling great, he greets Yue, who shows him around her guild to meet a mage, a sound warrior, a raging berserker, and a priest. You don't need a genius to see that the mage Xiao Cheng and the sound warrior are clearly not friends with him. Chun is paying close attention to Yue, who is almost ready to change into her second form. He proudly offers her a potion that costs 30 levels to craft, but when she politely refuses, his entire world feels like it's cracking. He keeps pushing the gift on her, but Yue has better things to do. She turns to our boy, and Chung can't believe his eyes that a nobody like our hero is wasting Yue's time, so he blurts out an insult, only for Yue to warn him to watch his tongue while he keeps right on talking. The MC stands there wondering if it's okay to drop a forbidden spell on Chung and finally call it a day. Chung's pride is swelling by the second, but the priest girl warns him of disaster, only for him to silence her and hurl another insult at our hero. This time, our boy won't let it slide and calls Chung out for treating a random potion like a legendary treasure. The sound warrior pushes Chung to the limit and dares the MC to show he's truly got what it takes. Instead of fighting, our hero calmly pulls out the pioneer emblem and tosses it to Yue like it's nothing special. Everyone in the group is stunned by what just happened. Our boy convinces UA to take the gift by claiming he found it at home and always meant to give it to her. The UI uses it, and her stats shoot up. At this moment, Chang's brain is desperately trying to stay alive, yet he stubbornly refuses to accept the truth, or perhaps he simply won't. Instead, he plays the classic loser move and blames our hero for taking it. Bad luck for him, because life doesn't care how he feels, so he has to swallow his pride and drop to his knees to say sorry. The MC is finally happy and walks away with UA. On the way, UA apologizes and he waves it off, urging her to focus on her next magical change and getting into a top school instead of sticking with him, even though he can't tell her the truth that having her around is actually stopping him from getting stronger. She slides a skill book into his hands, and he happily takes it. Later, deep in the dangerous graveyard of the Hidden Realm, UA shoots her arrows to take down the zombie-looking monsters while our hero cheers her on from the safety of the outside. Deep inside, he doubts everything he has ever done. The experience points he's earned are a joke, but he can't just walk into UA and brag that he's already level 10. Right then, UA's phone buzzed. Her guildmates shout that a boss monster is coming, so the priest girl chats with UA on the call while Chung buzzes with noise behind her. Yu looks at the MC to see if he's okay with her going, and he nods yes. She asks him to stay and wait for her in the safe zone before she goes. Now all by himself, our hero finally gets the chance to do what he loves best, charging right into the danger. He's picked up 2 new tricks, but since he can only wear 3 at a time, he's stuck leaving one of them behind. The fancy skill book UA gave him is totally useless until he reaches level 15. Over on the other side of the graveyard, a man says the big boss has appeared in the high tower deep in the secret realm, but he warns everyone to be extra careful because monsters are lurking around. Right as he finishes, a huge explosion shakes the whole area. They spot another team of adventurers rushing ahead, charging into the future. It has to be UA's group, plain and simple. While deep inside the graveyard, the MC is already at the tower thanks to the forbidden spells. There he stands, the big boss, looking scary and ready to cause trouble. The boss blasts a magical attack that explodes, but our hero dodges it with ease. He answers by calling down a shower of meteors and a storm of fire from the sky, and after one last explosion clears the dust, our boy grins. The system floods him with alerts about his ridiculous kill count, a mountain of experience points, and the big prize, the boss is finally down. Now that he has reached level 30, he is finally ready to change into something new. He grabs his treasure, stuffing pendants, gemstones, and the most vital prize of all, the emblem, into his pockets. As soon as he takes it in, the system shocks him with a new choice. He can either unlock the hidden necromancer class or try to earn the secret archmage title. He knows that these secret jobs are too rare to be found like easy loot, so he starts to think the emblems might be the key. After 2 seconds of deep thought, he finally nods and declares, Archmage, it is. While the UA guild is fighting hard, a sudden magic surge throws everyone into panic, and Yu instantly calls for a retreat. Chung hesitates, but Yu pulls him back by reminding him that his teammates' lives are real and precious. Chung steps back and grumbles about his terrible luck. Yui tries to reach out to our hero, only to find a message from him saying he has to leave right away for something very urgent. Once he finished up his business at the graveyard, the MC walked over to the career change hall. He scans the room, searching for someone who might help him. A woman steps forward, writes down his details, and leads him to the room where he can become a mage. As she walks away, Captain Joe catches up to her and tells her that something, or someone, just wrecked the graveyard, and the threat is at the level of a demon king or even worse. That is why he is standing there, asking Lone Shadow to step in and help. Our young hero's very first job as an archmage is to grab the holy symbol from the Shining Temple. Compared to the necromancer's daring plan to steal a crown from a tomb, this simple task feels like a warm-up, so with just 3 days to spare, he accepts it without a second thought and heads out of the hall. As he heads for the door, a different woman than the one who met him earlier waves goodbye, but he doesn't even notice the change. At the graveyard, Solon the woman from before stands with Captain Joe, but she's no ordinary investigator. She leads the Lone Shadow, a shadowy group of dark wielders who pull off secret, top-secret missions. She studies the fresh disaster, feels a dark energy in the air, finds no clues, and realizes the destroyer has vanished without a trace. Captain Joe feels a chill running down his spine, convinced that this latest scare is just the tip of the iceberg, linked to all the spooky trouble happening everywhere lately. Lean isn't entirely convinced, so he suggests reaching out for more help and asking the bosses for direction. Another man there suggests the culprit might just be a monster. She instantly realizes he's quietly suggesting that the lone shadows aren't so different from monsters. The man sees his error and rushes to say sorry. But Lon says the true danger isn't just a regular monster, but a force so powerful it dwarfs even a demon king and is far beyond what any normal human can survive. It's hiding in the dark, and they've got to find it before it shows itself again. While this is happening, our hero is back at his apartment checking out the cool new powers he just unlocked. Now that he has hit level 30 and unlocked 4 new skill slots, it's time to stop letting the books UA gave him gather dust and actually start using them. The first skill instantly mixes with a forbidden spell to become a shield, passively triggering whenever he gets hurt to soak up attacks up to a certain limit. He then tests the second item, which mixes with dark magic and strengthens his earth spells a bit, but he knows it still isn't powerful enough. So he heads to the trading center to grab some new skill books. The next day, the MC rushes to the trading center but is instantly trapped by the same woman who had once turned him away. This time, she suddenly jumps at the chance to help, but when our boy asks for young Shin, she conveniently says Shin is busy and offers to guide him instead. Our hero shakes his head and chooses to explore the world by himself. As expected, it didn't go down well, and the woman's mood turned sour instantly. She tries one more time, but thankfully Shin shows up just in time. It turns out Shin wasn't busy with another client, she had just been eating. When she learned the MC had arrived, she rushed over, and he, feeling a bit guilty, promised to treat her to a meal later, which made the clingy woman watching the whole scene look like she was about to explode from frustration. After selling 2 skill books to Wang, our boy asks for more mage skills. Wang, meanwhile, grows more suspicious of the strange items our hero brought and decides to dig into where he got them instead of turning a blind eye. Later that night, our boy and Shin share a meal, but when he tries to pay, she's already settled the bill and just smiles, keeping her kindness a secret. He offers to walk her home, but she kindly says no because she needs to be somewhere else. She's really headed to the hospital where her dad is staying. Because of the money she made helping our hero, she just has enough to pay for his medical bills for a month, but life has other plans. Halfway through her journey, everything suddenly goes terribly wrong. Suddenly, monsters pop up right inside the safe zone. She steps out of the taxi in shock, watching a 1-star mage named Shin struggle bravely but hopelessly against the monsters. She just barely holds her place before a monster chooses her for dinner, but right as it lunges, a sharp sword slices through the air and slices it down without a struggle. Captain Joe cast a quick glance at the mess and instantly knew things had gone far too bad. The hidden world is crashing into ours, and these monsters are far too strong for the 1-star league to handle. His mind jumps back to the talk about that ridiculously overpowered monster wrecking the city, but before he can dwell on it, something flies at him. He dodges just in time and spins around to see a man standing there, radiating so much arrogance he looks like a self-proclaimed villain. Ju thinks he's a mutant, but the guy takes it as an insult and insists he is the darkness's chosen one. Joe has no clue what wild fantasy tale this guy came from, but there's no time to argue about it. He leaps in to strike, but the man hits back so hard that Joe is launched flying through the air. The self-proclaimed Dark Lord shouted that the city was now his and charged forward again. Chu is thrown before he can react, and while he struggles to get up, his opponent starts bragging about how great he is, only to be interrupted by a creepy voice coming from the pendant around his neck. It instantly humbles him, reminding him that his power isn't his own but a gift given to him. If he wants to prove himself, he must give up every person in the city, and the man agrees to the order without hesitation. Just as the MC walked out of the bathroom, he found himself in the middle of a monster attack with dead bodies, ruined buildings, and total chaos everywhere. The monster lunges to grab him for a snack, but our boy shoots earth magic upward and pins the beast in midair with a sharp skewer. He quickly finds Captain Joe, who is dead and being dragged away by the Dark Man. The guy doesn't hesitate, lunges at our hero, and swings his massive claw. The main character stops the attack with ease. That is the moment the creepy voice finally spots him. It sees that our boy's power is truly dangerous, unlike the fake, chosen one, they talk about. Our hero stands right there, torn between using a forbidden spell and not touching it at all. After a short pause, he makes a bold move, smashes the guy's claw, and breaks free without a struggle. With pure panic gripping him, the man screams for his master to save him. The entity decides the hero is no longer worth the trouble, so it retreats the last of the monsters and leaves him alone there. Now it's just the man and the MC facing each other, with no borrowed power left for the underdog to hide behind. So-called mutants are a special kind of person who, when they first wake up, get lucky and find a secret power tied to the dark. It's just a fancy way of saying they are tougher than normal people at their same level. But of course, without the safety of the dark to hide in, they would have died. After beating up one of those unlucky folks, our boy doesn't waste a second on sadness, quickly grabs the loot, and heads straight home. While she tells Sulan that the monsters have run away and the secret gate has vanished into thin air, everything changes. Lan sits with her mind racing, replaying the strange whirlwind of the last few days where wild events popped up out of nowhere and vanished just as quickly. She has no clue what's happening as the girl reports that most places are safe, but the south side is in bad shape with many losses and no sign of her team. Lan decides to face the mess herself and head south into Captain Joe's territory. Down in the south, the Chosen One has been turned into a statue with his stomach looking like someone used it for target practice. A man named Dwan walks in to find that every single thing of value has been stolen. Just then, Lan shows up, and Dwan introduces himself as part of a secret group built entirely of fighters who work in the shadows. Lan knows very well what everyone thinks of them. Dwan didn't waste a moment pointing out that the body before them was once one of their own, the traitor who let a secret realm breach reality and bring a monster ambush that nearly wiped out their whole camp. A handful of lucky ones have managed to slip away. As for who finally killed the traitor, nobody knows yet. Lan can't shake the strange feeling that something is wrong, especially when Captain Joe displays the power of a third transformation while his whole army has turned into a tragic war story, pointing to only one possible conclusion. There is a powerful force strong enough to wipe out the enemy and stop the secret realm's invasion. Before she can think about it, Dwan hurriedly leaves to find something very important. Back at the MC's apartment, he's feeling great as he sorts through his new loot, which includes a fancy outfit, orange-grade armor, and a strange pendant with no known powers. All he hopes is that it isn't tied to an old god, or something far more troublesome. He has no idea that a dark figure is watching him from inside the pendant. The same creepy creature pops into the crystal ball, which is secretly tied to the pendant, letting it spy on our hero, but the moment our boy suggests an ancient god is involved, the creature goes absolutely crazy. Panicked, he shouts for everyone to cut off contact and hide their spot like their lives depend on it, which they probably do since these ancient gods are real. At the hospital, Captain Joe is wrapped in bandages from head to toe like a mummy, and his leg is broken. He tells the tale of how a young fighter appeared out of nowhere, frightening the enemy so badly that they fled like cockroaches under a light. After the mysterious figure vanished, the team found only simple magic traces at the scene, and Joe secretly hopes this unknown stranger will come to their side. Another man from earlier thinks the mysterious stranger might actually be a mutant. Joe, though, just shuts that idea down by saying it's all in his head. Our boy walks into the Radiant Temple, totally unaware that Dwan is hiding in the shadows, watching him like a very nosy stalker. A few days ago, Dwan headed to the trading center to pick up a 4th transformation fighter set for Wong. As they chat, the very woman our hero once turned down starts staring at Dwan as if he's her new backup plan. Wong tells Dwan that their regular customer who just bought that exact same set is none other than the MC. Feeling curious, Dwan wants to meet him, but their boy won't come that day, so instead Wong describes his outfit, a simple 2-piece top and pants. Dwan's gut tells him this is something ancient, so he pays Wong to find the hero, but Wong isn't fooled by that easy trick. He can't shake the feeling that Dwan popping up right after he mentioned selling the outfit was too neat to be a coincidence, but Wong isn't ready to spill all his secrets just yet. Instead, he buys himself a moment with an excuse to call our boy first. Once Dwan is gone, Wong feels too unsettled to ignore it, so when a chatty woman asks what's bothering him, he tells her about the hero he just learned about, a guy whose parents were ordinary workers who vanished in an accident, leaving him all alone. Our boy went to school and started with just a 1-star job at 18, but the real problem is that someone from his background shouldn't be selling such high-quality items. Yui's guild won't save him, so unless a fairy godmother keeps dropping treasures at his feet, he's either a thief or has gotten himself into trouble with someone way too powerful. Back at the temple, Dwan keeps his watch. He can't believe that our hero, who still looks like a schoolboy, managed to drive away an invasion of his secret realm. Especially since even his powerful master has fallen to the realm's boss, Dwan knows from rumors that if the hero isn't absurdly strong, someone powerful must be backing him, so he refuses to take any risks at all. While our boy watches other fighters struggle against the monsters, he starts swapping out his gear. Dwan prepares himself for a big change, maybe getting shiny armor or a powerful, dark glow around him. Instead, our hero just looks like a normal student, so Dwan gets suspicious he might be trying to ditch him and decides to play it safe. Since he can't follow our boy closely, he uses a special trick to keep track of where he is. Our hero steps into the temple and is greeted with an attack, but a sudden wall of light flares up to block the strike without any effort. So stunned are they that even the monsters nearby take one look at the MC and scramble to get away. Our boy then finds a huge man who can't move and is sweating like a pig. He glances at his task guide, realizes the man isn't important, and keeps walking right past him. As he ventures deeper, he finds a secret room where a six-winged angel is waiting. The moment the angel spots him, it does something no one expects and bolts right away. Our hero is left bewildered because instead of the epic fight he was waiting for, the angel boss he thought would fight him is suddenly trying to run away. But sadly for the angel, there's no place left to run. The MC made up his mind to finally get this done. He calls down a thunderstorm to crash over the tower. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning strikes the angel, causing the temple to crumble while Dwan stands frozen in shock. Our hero isn't celebrating because his rank stays stuck until he transforms, leaving all those earned points completely useless. The only real victory is the divine emblem he earned by defeating the boss, signaling the end of the mission, so he decides to leave until Dwan suddenly charges at him like a madman. Our hero jumps at the thought of anyone discovering his dangerous secret right now. Just as Dan stares with a mix of awe and concern, Dwan steps forward to explain before the sirens scream, prompting them to grab a teleportation scroll and vanish before they can even begin talking. Once they reach the quiet place, Dwan finally lets it all out. His master gave his life to seal away a dark invading realm, but a traitor slipped free and has been using humans as sacrifices for years to break the seal. Dwan keeps hunting him with no luck, but while the hunter talks, our hero worries not about betrayal, but about staying weak enough to hide his dangerous powers from falling into enemy hands. Dwan froze in fear, thinking the MC's stern face meant he was about to be killed. To make up, Dwan thanks him and says she's always there to help if he ever needs it. Our boy spots some talent in him, but first and foremost, he warns Dwan to keep quiet about everything that happened today. Dwan isn't bothered by our hero's dark magic, since it saved the city and he has nowhere else to turn. So he decides to shadow the MC, and as they set off, his phone buzzes with a call from her before she hangs up. She stands with Sullen to tell her about our hero's return. Lon dug deep and found out our boy has finally reached his first transformation level. She wants to speak up for our hero's good name, but Lon is refusing to accept her story and is demanding real answers instead. During a meeting earlier, Lon points out the ruins of Chin Yu and suggests that mutants might be behind the destruction. An older man questions why she, of all people, is raising this issue since she's a mutant herself, as everyone knows dark powers always come with a price. They might fade away, lose their minds, or if they're very unlucky, turn into something truly terrible. He insists that no mutant is so powerful they could truly be called a demon king. Another man laughs at her worries as if they are fake, but she isn't there to amuse them, she's just showing what could happen, and whether they care is their own choice. He only laughs at her, then goes so far as to offer to cut off his own head just to prove her wrong. The old man joins an investigation already underway, but since the bosses refused his request for backup, Lon sees it as a lack of trust while he insists she just needs to be patient, until a young girl bursts in to announce an attack on the Radiant Temple that luckily left no one dead. She realizes that the MC's leveling spot is actually the Radiant Temple. Now Longbow City is trapped behind a wall no one can break, and while people inside are going crazy wondering what's happening, Dwan and the MC stand lost in the restless crowd just as confused. The knights try hard to sound safe with big, empty promises, but our boy eventually figures out the truth. The small stir he made earlier ended up being way too loud, blowing the city's top security alarm and leaving him to just wait it out before acting like nothing happened. But the universe had other plans, and as the monsters outside the barrier watched the humans, the mighty shield shattered, letting the creatures pour in and turning the city into chaos. As people scream, shove, and run for their lives, Dwan tells the MC that another city was hit just like this last night and asks our boy for ideas on what to do next. Meanwhile, our hero thinks Dwan has got everything under control and is just being nice, but the confusion only grows until Dwan decides this is a test and watches to see what he can really do. So without another word, he steps forward. Meanwhile, our boy isn't worried at all. With so many people watching and all that attention, it looks like the best choice is to let Dwan take charge. The guards try to fight back, but they barely get close before they are torn apart. The monster leader watches this sad mess and feels so disappointed he can't even be angry anymore. If this is humanity's finest moment, he might as well vent his anger on them. Just as the attack is about to land, Dan blocks it not out of concern for the city, but because he's too busy imagining how cool he looks proving himself to the MC, while the MC tries desperately not to cringe at Dwan's constant calls of master. The monster boss finally found someone he thought was special, but his excitement vanished in a second. As Dwan shifts her weight, the leader gets cut. The crowd stood frozen, staring in shock as no one could have guessed such raw power was waiting to be unleashed. Honestly, Dwan is just tough as nails. He is a secret warrior with a hidden high-star power, and he has been climbing the ranks since way past level 130. Even our boy has to admit he's got something, though it's unclear if he respects his strength or just wonders how this lunatic ended up under his wing. With the Dark Lord retreating, Dwan waits for orders from our hero, who is already happy with how things turned out. Dwan passes the orange loot to us, our hero keeps the skill book for UA, and sells the shield to get some much-needed cash. Right as they are finishing up, a priest and an injured knight arrive to thank them before another figure steps forward to meet Kai Dongming, the mayor of Longbow City. The moment our hero stepped forward, Dwan and Dongming knew at a glance that these strangers didn't belong here. The MC spins a tale that they're just on business and got stuck in this mess by pure accident. Unfortunately, Dongming gets it all wrong and thinks our boy is blaming them for the barrier. The man bows and apologizes, a funny twist since our hero knows he caused the mess, yet he gently tells Dongming it isn't their fault. To make up for the trouble, Dongming hands over a flight scroll so powerful that even the main character can't help but hold back from showing how amazed he is. He then asks them to stay in the city for a few more days because trouble is still happening and there aren't enough soldiers to protect them. But our boy says no because he can't miss his first transformation, even though the special mission to change his job only lasts a few days. Dongming hands him a black card as a thank you gift, and our hero quickly realizes it comes from a ridiculously powerful group, so he happily takes it with a grateful heart. With that settled, everyone goes their separate ways on friendly terms as the MC and Dwan walk out together. In Shinyu City, Yu's guild members stand outside the profession-changing hall, waiting for Yua and Chung to come back. Right as they open the door, our boy and Dwan fly right above them in the sky. You can feel the hero nearby, even as Chung just laughs it off. According to him, the MC is too broke to buy a fancy scroll, but before he can keep his joke going, Yua shuts him up with a sharp glare. Chung just doesn't get it, leaving us wondering if our hero is the only one with a flight scroll, sharp style, or hidden treasure, while the mystery stays unsolved. The priest girl wisely steers the conversation toward their next shape-shifting. Chung proudly shows off his A rank, and even though he's not happy about it, the Sound Warrior and Raging Berserker cheer him on to keep his confidence high. Then every pair of eyes turns to Yua, who stands silent, unlike Chung. Her quiet worry makes the young priestess gently push for a reply. Chung, with his small mind, decides that Yua must have gotten a bad score and is too ashamed to say it out loud. He tells her he'll always be there for her. Yu, tired of his own excuses, finally reveals that while he's struggling at an A, she's already crushed it at an S, meaning he should worry about himself, not her. As soon as she speaks, the whole crowd goes silent, leaving Chung speechless for the first time since he's been feeling like a king. The best part is that Yua never mentioned this before because her mission just unlocked a hidden job so rare that she'd never even heard of it. Chung is struggling to make sense of this. Just as Yua wakes up, a hidden new skill has suddenly appeared, and it all began when the boy gave her a simple emblem that turned her into a shadowy warrior instead of an archer. At first, she doesn't know what's going on. She remained puzzled until she finally realized that our hero knew this would happen the moment he gave her the emblem. She doesn't hesitate or think it over, she simply agrees to the change. Now she is telling everyone about all of this. Cheng just can't bring himself to believe it. But Yu simply doesn't have the patience for his paranoia. The rest of the group pays him no mind while Chun quietly boils with frustration in the background. He's so sure he's right that he sneaks out to find the emblem on his own. While everyone else struggled outside, the MC found the changing room to be a smooth and easy experience. He shows off his shiny new magical badge, and suddenly his power explodes, unlocking fresh skills that let him cast forbidden spells with perfect accuracy. Outside, Dwan stands waiting, keeping watch like a loyal guard. Sulan happens to walk by and sees him right away. She already knows Dwan is incredibly strong, but the staff's tales of him acting like a devoted shadow to our boy, always staying by his side with deep respect, have made her even more curious. She notices something strange and tells Chiwi over her earpiece, but she just laughs it off and reassures Lon that our hero is definitely on their side. She decides to skip the middleman and head straight to the MC to get the answers herself. Dan moves out of the way as Chi cuts straight to the point, seeing that our boy has already made his first big change. Our hero is caught off guard, takes a breath, and then decides to just admit the truth. He always watched out for him, so accepting it won't do any harm. Then she turns her words to a much bigger problem, the power of darkness. Many folks are quietly turning into monsters because of it, and she's terrified our boy might be next. The MC tells her he has no interest in joining the mutant club since those guys are watched by the authorities and he'd rather avoid that kind of trouble, but she isn't fully convinced yet. She hands him a crystal and tells him it catches the faintest whispers of the dark. All that's left for him to do is pour his power right into it. He pauses, she sees it, and she holds her breath. In the end, our hero sees it through. As soon as his power hits the crystal, it shatters in an explosion. He and Chi both stare at the broken pieces. Lon says this magic crystal is meant to measure how corrupted someone is. A little shake tells you there's just a tiny bit of trouble. The violent shake signaled a serious trouble like an explosion, yet Lon conveniently forgot to tell us what it meant. The MC tells Chi to trust him since they've known each other for a long time. His words touched a tender part of her heart, making her doubt for a second as memories of his sad past surfaced, yet she knew her duty came first. She must speak up about what happened, even though guilt weighs heavy on her heart, and while our boy gets it, he is still deeply worried and ready to pack his bags and flee Chinya City if things go wrong. Before they go their separate ways, Chi gives him a skill book as a gift to help him awaken. Our hero gives her the sacred wing as a thank you gift for always standing by his side. With that, he turns and walks away, forcing her to accept it, and later she heads to the adventurer's office to tell Lon what happened. She worries the authorities will see MC as a threat, but Lon knows that since they've already crossed the line, poking the bear is a bad idea, so she decides to talk her way out instead of making things worse. She stops all the searching and locks up every piece of information about our boy. Ki is thinking exactly the same thing. Lon then turns her attention to Dwan. On the other hand, our hero heads back to his apartment with Dwan, looking pretty unhappy about it. Dwan quickly notices the change and reacts instantly. The MC tells Chi that the authorities have officially dropped the case, but he's still worried about what might happen to his future level-ups. Every time he tears down a secret realm, it causes a stir, and soon the big bosses will realize what's happening, so Dwan, who is now sure our hero is totally different from normal people, suggests they practice in hidden places instead. Some areas are untouched because the authorities simply can't handle them, while others are secretly held by evil forces. Dwan already knows 2 of these places, and she can find even more if she needs them. Our boy leaves everything to his plan of heading to the trading center tomorrow to sell his loot, rest up, and act like a normal person for a bit. After that, Dwan checks into a hotel for the night, ready to hunt for a rental place tomorrow. But before he can rest, the city's mayor Jiang Ji suddenly arrives. The man questions if Dwan is really staying in the city, and when Dan says yes, Jiang Ji hands him a special city card and promises more help. As Dwan looks at the card, Jiang Ji is panicking in his head because Dwan has already turned down dozens of other cities trying to hire him. What Jiang Ji doesn't realize is that Dwan's choice has nothing to do with the city at all. While Young Ji happily pats himself on the back for securing a valuable asset for the city, the MC waits unseen in the shadows. Our boy has been staring at his game so hard that he didn't notice how much time had passed. Only when he finally takes a break does he realize the class group chat is still going wild. Curious, he opens it and finds everyone freaking out over their power levels, new abilities, and the scary college exam that expects them to have turned into something new already. It's funny how the guy who used to ignore all that nonsense is now flying past everyone else without even trying, just in a few short days. Suddenly, an overzealous UA fanboy jumps in to mock him for playing games, so Chiwei sends a message to tell him to ignore that loudmouth. Just as everyone starts to relax, someone breaks the silence with terrifying news: an invasion of the secret realm has begun. That is when he finally realizes he should have dealt with that creepy dark creature while he still could. Funny enough, somewhere out in the dark shadows, that same being lets out a sneeze. The next morning, the woman scolds Shin for limping into the trading center while still hurt. Since making people annoyed is her full-time job, she insults our hero, and while Shin defends him, the bossy woman only digs up his past to make fun of him. Just as things are about to get worse, the ground suddenly shoots up beside her, and she narrowly escapes with a quick dodge. Suddenly, our boy burst in because he heard every word and knew he couldn't stay quiet anymore. Now the woman realizes karma strikes fast, and she quickly flips into the role of the victim. She screams for the guards as if her life hangs in the balance. Shin begs our hero to run while things are still okay, but he just laughs it off and tells her not to worry. Right on time, Wong arrives with his guards, acting all superior. Our boy doesn't waste time, he straight up calls out the guy for sneaking around, acts like a cheap detective, and even calls him a thief, but Wong just acts too important to reply and orders his guards to arrest him, only for our hero to pull out the ultimate trump card. The guards slam on their brakes the moment they spot it, leaving Wong and the woman staring in shock. But Wong still holds on to his pride and won't stop asking how the MC managed to get such a card, even though our hero just wants him to try figuring it out himself since Wong is supposedly a master at it. Wong gets annoyed and tells the woman to watch the MC while he makes a call, and outside, people are confused as the guards block the way while Dongming, who already heard the news from headquarters, calls Wong for more details. Wong realizes he's in deep trouble but acts like it's just a misunderstanding. Unfortunately for him, Dongming is having none of it, so furious that he screams at Wong for insulting the MC, a man he has worked hard to impress. Wong decides to change his approach before his own bad ideas crush him, standing there stunned as he wonders if he ever made the right choices. Then, in a final desperate move, he calls Duan, hoping to drag him into the chaos so he can save himself. Our hero and Shin are hanging out at the trading center when Dongming and Duan crash the place. The sharp stares make the woman flinch, as if she just realized she messed with the wrong people. She turns to Wong, who looks like he just ran a marathon in heavy armor. Dongming realizes the boy doesn't want their apologies, so he tells Wong and the woman to leave. Wong lets his anger explode and punches the woman. Dongming has no time for their drama, so he just waves his guards to toss the trash out. Once the nonsense was done, they settled down and Shin poured tea for the MC. Dongming watches and sees that Shin and our hero are getting along just fine. Shin stands wide-eyed, amazed that such a young boy knows people with so much power. While they talk, Dongming reminds the hero about the treasure list he checked earlier, and the hero explains he was looking for a special item needed to finish the game. That makes him earn a pair of confused stares. Noticing how they looked, he explained that he'd seen it online and thought the idea sounded cool and mysterious. Last night, our boy finally checked out the skill book we gave him, discovering it was a magical item for restoring mana mid-battle, and when he tried it out, the system suddenly mentioned a powerful endgame relic without explaining a thing. With no other option, the MC decides to call the night and figure things out later, and now we are back in the present. Dongming beckons Duan and our hero to visit Longbow City before zipping away on a flight scroll. As he walks away, our boy gets hungry, and Duan offers to take him to his place for a meal. Now at Duan's fancy villa, the MC is blown away by the luxury and Duan suggests he move in. Our hero wants to save up to buy a place nearby, so he politely refuses Duan's offer of a loan since he prefers not to accept charity. He'd sold enough gear to make crystal coins that could buy a villa, but spending all his savings feels too risky, so he chooses to take things slow instead. While they take a sip of their tea, Duan has already summoned the chefs. But then the phone starts ringing. Zhang Ji tells him that the disaster investigators want to question him. Duan realizes this might hurt our hero, so he quickly asks what our hero thinks before moving forward. For now, he tells Zhang he can't be seen right now. When he introduces the MC to our kid, the MC has no idea who the investigation team really are. High officials are gathered to discuss the mysterious hero who supposedly saved Chinyu City without anyone ever seeing him, yet rumors are spreading like wildfire that he is a legendary savior. One of the guys in the room thinks what half of them are thinking, and to him, it all sounds like a load of nonsense. Solon suggests that the sudden end of the invasion and the overnight wipeout of all mutants might be why this happened. But the man still isn't convinced, arguing that the attack stopping doesn't prove anything, especially since some recent foes were so powerful they wouldn't just disappear without a trace. T watches it all unfold, knowing Lon is in trouble because she secretly wiped his hero records, and now she must face the fallout herself. Just then, Jang walks in to say that Dwan isn't coming. That final, tiny annoyance snapped the already angry man. First, the hero we thought would save us has vanished, followed by the investigator, so the remaining team must step up and lead the hunt themselves. Later, that same man shows up at the Iway tomb, a hidden spot in the secret realm. He's on the scene to figure out what happened. Although, investigate sounds like a fancy word for what he's about to do. The air hums with dark leftover power, but the man does something unexpected, his eyes gleam, and before anyone can stop him, he dives into that scary energy with a monster right in front of him. While our hero at Duan's mansion is almost ready to win his mobile game, a sudden system message warns him about a final relic he needs. He feels a presence touching his mind through the energy around him and turns his attention to find exactly where it is coming from. He then snatches up his jacket and gets ready to go. Duan steps inside right as he's trying to get out the door. The MC slides the phone across the table so he can finish the round as he walks away. As our hero walks toward the graveyard, he realizes the relic spot on the map is shifting. As the guards stand at the graveyard gate, shaking with fear, a terrible creature emerges, its twisted form trapping a poor man alive inside. He's down on his luck and pleading for a hand out. Meanwhile, the chaos has frozen all the traffic to a halt. The MC stepped out of the taxi and walked on his own. Back at the graveyard, Wei, Lon, and the assistant girl stop dead in their tracks when they see the monster, which is far worse than they ever imagined. Lon rests her injured body on Chi's lap while Qi rushes through the advanced gear our boy gave them. But despite everything, Lan's injuries are just too much to handle. Lon struggles to sit up as Qi delivers the grim news that the monster is now charging straight for downtown. The mayor called Duan in, but Lon knows that despite her strength, the mayor is just buying time against that thing. The only real hope lies with our hero, and it feels like the universe itself is listening as our MC runs face to face with the monster. The beast lunges and crashes face first into the shield. It freezes up and gets all mixed up. The system offers our hero a deal to swallow the monster, he says yes, and suddenly a wild rush of power hits him while his stats skyrocket to impossible heights. But with that boost comes something strange. Pictures flash through his mind, strange and disturbing. Just as the chaos settles, Duan shows up and our hero quickly tells him the beast is down, only for Duan to spot a man lying nearby, looking like he's not breathing. Before he could overthink it, the MC handed him the cleanup and walked away. Later at Chinyu City's prison, the man is locked up and has finally decided to tell the real truth. He stumbled into a secret realm and found a demon, thinking messing with dark powers was a smart move until everything spiraled out of control. Everyone in the city now believes a mysterious hero is keeping watch over them. Zhongji wonders if Duan ever saw this hero, and Duan nods to confirm it. Zhongji asks Duan to introduce him to a supposed hero, hoping to bribe the guy into staying forever, but Duan stops him right away since the man never shows up and there actually isn't any hero at all. Duan and the MC were smart enough to blame a fake person for everything. With no proof to go on, Young couldn't even find a shadow, so Dan lied by claiming the hero had family in Chinyu City to look after, which sounded official enough to Qi, and Lam, who then reinforced that the MC didn't want to be disturbed. Meanwhile, our boy is relaxing in a quiet bath and putting it all together. The so-called final relics are just the remains of long-dead secret realm demon lords, and the dramatic visions he saw earlier were only leftover memories from a dead Dark Lord, so while he almost feels scammed, he doesn't care about becoming a Grand Realm Lord since he has a different plan. He knows his world is being choked by dark energy, so he keeps growing stronger, but if the other timeline can't take it anymore, it's game over, and right now in his own time, only a few people can even reach the fourth form. That's mostly because their way of training is a total mess and their jobs don't even help them stay alive. That's all the Demon Lord's secrets he could steal, and if this keeps up, humanity is doomed. Sure, he's tough enough to survive, but what's the point of being the last guy alive in a monster-filled wasteland when other timelines have actually managed to fight back? That sparks an idea for him to collect more ruins, uncover hidden secrets, and share them wisely, because if he isn't careful, he could become a target himself. Just then, his phone starts ringing. Wei is inviting him to dinner and promising to pay for it. Well, at least one thing is working out today, and he's clearly accepting it. Before that, her guild members throw a small party to celebrate her and Chang, who have both unlocked their second transformation. Chang says he's reserved a cozy private room at a great restaurant for the big moment. It's a shame that Yue has made plans with our boy and suggests moving the party to tomorrow before they head out. Ching can't stand it and calls her out for acting like she's better than everyone else. The MC takes a bite of the roasted lamb and savors it like it's the best thing that has happened to him all day, which given the mess his life has been lately, might actually be true. After Yue told him about the secret world of hidden jobs, he stared into the Demon Lord's memories and saw that everyone from past heroes to slaves never reached their true power, so he now wonders if these emblems are the answer to finally change their history. Yui doesn't look happy, she looks let down because she had planned to buy those emblems for him and her guild. Even so, she won't let him coast, insisting he must get stronger so he can keep himself safe. The MC, eager to cause trouble since grinding alone is too much work, happily let Yue guard him, not realizing she'd been silently hurting from a recent quest injury instead of telling him. Before he can speak, his phone rings with a voice that isn't friendly, demanding where he got the emblem and sounding like they mean business. Our boy just hung up. When he tells Yue, her eyes go wide with shock because she never told anyone about the emblem. Something strange is happening right before they can even figure it out, the phone rings again, and this time the voice on the other end sounds furious. The MC, fed up with the hassle, hangs up the phone again. Once they've eaten their fill, they quickly say their goodbyes and go their separate ways. When our hero gets back to his apartment, he feels things are wrong because his room looks like a tornado hit it, with furniture everywhere and a total mess. Then he spots him, a man standing right in the middle of the mess. Our boy spots him right away, it's the very same man who called earlier. The MC feels the attack coming from behind but doesn't even flinch, dodges it with ease, and then shoves the attacker into the wall, sending him crashing to the ground. The guy who saw everything is totally dumbfounded. The MC looks at him and makes it plain that strength comes before words. The man looks as confused as a chicken, wondering what went wrong after his hero suddenly moved like a breeze and reacted faster than ever, yet he throws one last desperate attack anyway. When that fails badly, he turns and runs for his life. He sprints to the balcony to jump and escape, but our hero catches his leg in midair and drags him back inside. He won't make it easy for him after he wrecked his apartment. Now both men stand before our hero, broken and stripped down to their shorts, having traded everything they had just to beg for mercy. The MC insists on answers, only to learn that Chung was the mastermind who hired them to dig up dirt on our boy. Since he started all this trouble, our hero won't let him get away with it. He then casts a forbidden spell on them that scrambles their minds. Meanwhile, Chung stands with the shield warrior, feeling bold about his plan to send others after the MC. His next brilliant scheme was to teach Yue a final lesson by letting the boss monster run wild to scare her, so he could swoop in to save the day and bask in the glory. Too bad Yue had other ideas, so she put herself in danger to bring the monster down herself. Right then, one of Chung's spies walks right in. Chung, desperate for the gossip he just heard, pushes the man who overheard them for a report, only to have him suddenly ask about Yue instead. The man squeezes his arms tight around Chung and the shield warrior's necks, but he isn't really the one calling the shots. Our hero is boiling with rage over what happened to Yue and is secretly pulling the strings, making sure not to end their lives too quickly because that would be far too kind for him. So instead, he throws a spell that twists their minds and souls until they all crumble into dust. That was perfect for him because he'd leave no mess and no proof behind. But this whole mess proves one thing, his neighborhood isn't safe at all. Awoke can walk in and out whenever they want. Even though he can handle them, he can't stay home to guard the spot around the clock. If those fools had found the secrets from the Demon Lord's mind, it would have been a terrible nightmare. Luckily, he hadn't sorted through that mess yet, but it didn't matter now since he needed to find a new place where uninvited guests couldn't come crashing in. Dwan's house felt like a safe fortress, but once the MC spilled his secrets, Dwan exploded with rage and vowed to hunt down anyone who dared to threaten them. But our boy needs something different, a real expert who is skilled, trustworthy, and won't get lost in the gossip of a big guild. Dwan has many skilled alchemists, but since they all work for powerful groups, hiring them brings too many spies and dangerous risks. Our hero learned from the demon lord's memories that they once had master alchemists who brewed potions far stronger than anything here, but without a skilled guide to read their ancient recipes, the hero might as well be staring at unreadable poetry. After the events of that day, the very last thing he wants is to draw more greedy flies like Chang to him. The next morning, the MC finds out from UA that the person they're hunting is right in front of them. Shu'er, the priestess's brother who was meant to join her group, didn't get along with Chung. Well, that's one problem solved forever, thanks to Chung, who has decided to stop picking fights with anyone ever again. When UI asks why he's suddenly curious about an alchemist, our hero just makes up some lazy excuses. She didn't believe him, but she decided to let it go. Later, the MC finds Shui while Yue and Shu Ting wait outside. He studies the potion and sees that while its ingredients are ordinary, the way they are mixed is so new and tricky that he has never seen it before, and then our boy reveals that this drink can make experience gain go all the way to 100%. Shui stops dead and looks stunned when she hears that. Even the priciest potions only get you to 40%, but now there's a new formula that hits maximum power. If this secret leaks, ordinary folks could quickly rise to power, so Ji rushes upstairs to run the crucial test while leaving Shu Ting to watch the tea, letting the three of them sit and chat in a quiet, normal moment. Then, strange and suspicious sounds start echoing down from above. They scramble up the stairs only to see one of Wei's strange experimental slimes slipping away from them. Then, right in the middle of the chaos, Wei steps forward glowing like a mad scientist and shouts that the experiment worked. He dabbed a bit of potion on the slime, and the monster instantly learned everything it needed to know. Now our boy is sure those other formulas will work just as well. Ting watches her brother stare at his lab, which he usually worships but is now ripping apart in pure excitement. After the chaos fades, Wei makes the girls promise to keep their mouths shut and then turns to our hero to ask what he plans to do next. Just as the MC is about to reply, his phone buzzes with a message from Chiwi saying that next week, senior students will head to a secret training zone, but since spots are scarce, every class must wait its turn. The group chat instantly bursts into a flurry of students chatting away. Our boy is finally free from his plans. He'll try those experience potions on himself first, and when they hit the market, they'll be a huge hit, but big profits always mean big headaches too. While people like Chung will try to fly around and steal some of the success, the MC won't just give his hard work away for free. Instead, he'll first make his team stronger and build his own power before anyone else even notices what's coming. Our boy decides that Joja, the berserker from UA's guild, is a great addition to his potion-sharing circle. Jashin is strong, gets along with UA, and having a powerhouse like him on your side always helps. He hands Shui a few more prescriptions, Wei stumbles upon some strange ingredients, and Yu proposes they brew their first batch of potions together while inviting the MC to join the adventure. On the other hand, Wei worries about making enough potions before the big meeting, while Yue and Ting are busy gathering everyone. And our boy just sits there, blending right into the background like he's a forgettable extra in his own story. When the day comes, our hero reaches the meeting spot first and waits by the road. A bus packed with students rolls by and starts making fun of him, because they can't go about their day without laughing at him. At the dungeon's entrance, a crowd of students gathers to wait their turn. Chiwi appears with a new group of people. Because these students are in the second class, they get to wait a full 2 hours before they can finally go in. Then they see MC Yue Jen and the brother-sister duo walking past the line like VIPs, and it instantly upsets them, but she quickly stops the fight by explaining that our hero is taking the guild straight into the dungeon's depths, a whole different level from where they're heading. But even with explanations, jealousy still lingers. Some students whisper your name, which instantly draws the attention of another group. Among the team, Chang Muku takes fourth, Li Kei third, and Guyun Zhou second, and unlike the whiners, they head straight into the dungeon while the main character and UI's group reach the deep levels where Shui hands out experience potions. Everyone cheers for our boy, even though he'd rather stay in the shadows than mix with the crowd. Since he failed his first awakening at 16, folks have been laughing at him ever since. Instead of proving them right, he closed himself off even tighter, so seeing him hold a conversation without looking like he's in pain is a rare treat. She only prays that this means he's finally waking up from his stupor. UA snaps everyone back to reality, warning that without a tank or powerful magic, a single mistake could kill them, so she insists our flashy, overconfident hero keep things quiet and avoid drawing unwanted attention. She will draw the enemies out, while Xiangshu holds the line and Wei tosses potions in just the right moments. The MC groans at how painfully slow leveling is, but he grits his teeth and keeps going just to keep the team together. As the fight starts, Yu shoots an arrow at a zombie, and suddenly the rest rush in. Shuing pumps up Zhang Shu's power, and with one massive blow, he bursts a cloud of fire that swallows the monsters whole. While Wei's fire magic roasts the creatures, Ting and Xiang Shu cheer with plans to unlock their second power, ace their exams, and get into a top school with Yue. Suddenly, a booming laugh rings out through the dark cave. Yunjo strolls out with Lai Kei and Muku, beaming with amusement at the sight of a few small-time fighters who foolishly believe they can stand a chance against an elite academy. Ting and Zhang Su recognize them, yet something feels wrong because these two aren't even from Chinya City. Yu then asks them straight out what they are up to. Yunjo cuts straight to the chase, saying they traveled far just to invite Ui to their team, but Ui didn't even hesitate a second before shutting them down because she already has her own guild. Yunjo tries again, even sweetening the deal by offering Ching a spot, but Ui stays unmoved, so Yunjo knows she won't budge and decides to try a different approach. He says that recent strange events have made dungeon monsters meaner and pushed top universities to raise their standards. Only the best teams or the most talented players have a real shot this year, making it a rare chance that has everyone, including his own rookies, scrambling to build their dream squads. And the true reason he wants UA is because she is fated for greatness, unlike the rest who are doomed to mediocrity, so after this nonsense, she finally reaches her limit and calls forth her weapon. Shuing senses something terrible coming, jumps in to suggest they head to a different level instead. Yu doesn't even bother to give an answer. She just turns around and walks away, with the whole group trailing right behind her. Our hero just stands there lost in thought while he steps up, acting tough and demanding to know if he's fun. The MC just says no, so Leah throws insults his way. Xiang Shu steps forward and loudly calls out to Yunjo's group for going too far. Leah throws a punch, and even though Xiang Shu tries to block it, the hard hit still blasts the wind right out of him. Wei steps forward to help, only to find Yunjo standing in her path. She stares him down, silently telling him to get out of her way. On the other hand, Xiang Shu, likely nursing a few broken ribs, still refuses to back down. He tightens his fist to strike back, but before he can, Li Kei is already moving again. Ting and Yue spring into action right away, racing to block the incoming punch. Just as they are about to move, our quiet boy suddenly raises his hand, and a magical wall pops up to stop Li Kuei's attack. Everyone gasps as our hero easily blocks the strike, then seizes Li's wrist mid-swing and throws him flying backward. Leah slams into the ground while our boy fires back her earlier words with a punch that hits way harder than before. Yunjo rushes forward to check on Li, only to be stopped dead when an arrow from UA pins his lower back to the spot. Muku, the only one left from Yunjo's group, just stands there staring at the total mess that just happened. The main character never thought things would get this bad, but the other folks just kept poking him until he had to keep going. He asks Ting to heal Xiangshu, then questions how to handle Li, so Xiangshu agrees to take Li's gear as our hero suggests. Yunjo tries to argue, but the MC silences him with one solid punch to the ground that makes Yunjo question every mistake he's ever made. He instantly offers his own gear, a total shift from his usual cold attitude. Our hero just tells him to quit making things messy. Muku hands over her gear, and once everything is done, our hero declares it's time to move forward and get stronger. As they walked away, Yue admitted she had planned to help him get stronger, but it turns out he didn't need it after all. The MC mumbles a weak excuse, but she lets it go without asking for more. She's happy for him no matter what happens. Xiangshu and Ting are dying to know which school the MC will pick, but he's playing hard to get and acting like he hasn't even thought about it yet. In truth, He knows he can't walk into those places because the endless rules and chances to slip up would let secrets out, so instead of playing their guessing games, he gently steers the chat toward moving forward and getting stronger, though growing up isn't as easy as snapping fingers since he can't use those forbidden spells. Thanks to helpful bonuses and strong gear, he gets by using the magic spells built into his items. A few days later, he finally made it back home. He barely leveled up once, thanks to a potion, and he's so used to blasting through tough monsters with forbidden magic that he's forgotten what it feels like to gain levels the normal way. Someone like UA can reach level 60 and change form twice in just 2 years, while those stuck in low-tier jobs would do better studying at a university than spending every day fighting weak creatures. Our hero refuses to let that gloomy truth weigh him down and instead grabs a much-needed break. For the next few days, he lets the simple pleasures of life fill his days. Just as he starts to feel like a normal guy, his phone rings. Yang Xin tells him about a big auction with valuable stuff, and Master Tang just wants to know if he'll be there. With nothing else to do, the MC says yes. Not long after, he runs into Tang Yichai, the appraiser from the Qinyu branch who stepped in to take charge after Wang. After the usual greetings, our hero flips through the catalog but only finds useless mage items. Just as he was about to give up on it all, he spots the very potion he helped Shuei create. Suddenly, a warning goes off in his mind. He insists on knowing where that potion came from. Ikai says the Kengue guild sold it off right at the trading post. Our boy knows this guild is one of the country's biggest powerhouses, so stumbling on a rare potion formula like that means one of two things. Either way, he secretly sold the formula to them, or something much more shady happened. Ikai whispers about a mysterious new tower called the Divine Trial where you earn rewards every 10 levels, including a special recipe for an experience potion. For the first time, Duan heard of a realm that wasn't listed on the government website where all challengers are supposed to be registered. But our boy didn't care about rules or boundaries, he only wanted the way forward, so when the system called it the Divine Trial, he laughed at the scary name and found the mission to clear the realm in 2 months, or vanish forever, truly exciting. After that, he and Duan dig into the secrets and find that the Kangaroo Guild rules this realm. The guild holds the sole power to welcome outsiders, so no one can join without their permission. But since his own life hangs in the balance, he decides to handle that trouble later. Once he steps into the trial realm, he's already armed with plenty of intel from the guild's forum to draw in some tough competitors. Slipping past the guards should be easy, but the moment he touches the door, an explosion erupts, sending alarms ringing at the guild while our hero vanishes back into his room through a strange black hole. He stands there, trying to make sense of the crazy thing that just happened. The instant he touched the door, a powerful blast of energy hit him and smashed right through his guard. Even his system, the one thing that never fails, finally took a hit. Now he can't stop the endless flood of damage alerts. Healers rush to the trial realm's entrance to heal the guards who were knocked out by the explosion. Hishu, the guild master of the Answer Guild, stands watching everything unfold. One of the guards finally woke up and explained that an explosion had hit the realm's entrance before he fainted. Since this sort of thing doesn't just happen, Shu starts thinking the realm itself might have glitched out. Before he could even begin guessing, a priestess stepped forward and told him to use their magic to find the real truth. She lifts her staff, casts a spell, and glowing circles of magic send time rushing backward. It's all included in one package because the trial realm comes with a handy security system that lets you rewind time and review every image. As time turns back, they spot a scary figure creeping toward the door, looking like trouble. Just as he is about to walk inside, a glowing god appears and literally kicks him out. After that, the holy god looks very worried and stressed because he needs to find the dark intruder before he ruins the world. When they heard that, everyone watching the recording was left totally speechless. Without delay, the 7 guild leaders gather to watch the footage and agree that the attacker was undeniably a god. Lu Yingji notes that even though they don't know the deity's true name, the magic unleashed in that battle was so powerful it reached the level of legendary forbidden curses. Fangzhou remembers Xu saying he passed the test and got the god's blessing, and Xu agrees, though he never really thought a god would show up himself. Yulingwa doesn't like where this is heading, because if a forbidden curse user can't even kill the dark god, things are going terribly wrong. Lu Yuanning worries too, but Wangbo thinks the forbidden spells might actually work against the dark deity, so Zhang Yanwan agrees to give it a shot. But Shu sees right through them, knowing the guild leaders have been waiting forever to grab the trial realm and are now using it to force him to open it. He decides to open it, but only after warning that the monsters inside are no joke and will be utterly destroyed by their current strength. In his view, they are nowhere near worthy of the god's blessing. At that moment, Jin asks Old Fong what he thinks, but the second Old Fong hears the words, he explodes in rage, and even though Jun tries his hardest to stop him from losing it, the man is so furious that flames are literally sparking around his face. His apprentice warned them about trouble in the city, but they ignored it and sent a team that made everything worse, leaving them with innocent blood on their hands if not for the mysterious hero who saved Chinyu City. Xian grabs him and tells him that burning the room down with his anger won't fix anything. This old man, who paid a heavy price to retire from using dark power, is being dragged back into the chaos anyway. Jun asks Old Fong to bring the incident records to the mysterious hero for help, and to make it sweeter, he offers a gift of fine wine. Thankfully, that works perfectly. Old Fong's anger suddenly fades, and he agrees, while over at Duan's villa, our hero stares angrily at his new mission to finish his second transformation and repair the broken system. He steps out of his room and sees Old Fun and Lon sitting in the living area. As Dowan makes her introductions, the MC quickly figures out who Old Fong really is. He isn't just an old soldier, he is a legend who lives and breathes. He has earned more success than anyone ever gets lucky for, rising from building secret safe havens to wiping out evil adventure groups, and though he is known as the mightiest mutant, while the lone shadow usually hides in the shadows, Old Fong's very presence is enough to make enemies rethink their entire lives. The oldest man gives our young friend a handful of shiny crystal coins worth a fortune and a stack of powerful potions that boost his skills. The MC, still stunned by the fortune he just found, asks why they are here. Old Feng plays a recording in response. Our boy watches, and he nearly chokes. The thing they are most terrified of, the evil entity that haunts their dreams, is none other than him. His system instantly changes the mission and he can feel it trying to trap him. Even though he's sweating buckets, now isn't the time to panic. He keeps his face calm and promises to send the recording to the mysterious hero and tell them more later, while Lon slips her card into his hand as a way to reach out in the future. The MC spots her instantly, remembering their first meeting in the locker room where they both switched careers. As soon as they leave, Old Fun looks surprisingly happy with our hero and is already dreaming up ways to bring him onto their team. Lon wonders if our boy and the mysterious hero are the same person, but Old Fung just doesn't care. If the MC wants to seem like an innocent student, the old man will play along, because with the mysterious hero on their side, no one will argue, especially while their enemies grow stronger every day. The MC knows pretty well what happened to his system yesterday. Most likely,